Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. So it's been a while since I filmed a sit down video. I've been filming a lot of vlogs lately, but it's been a while since I sat down and had a good chat with you guys. So that's what we're doing in today's video. Today's a little bit different from my channel. I know I kind of upload whatever I want, but this is very different to my usual content. So in today's video, we're going to be filming a romance book recommendations video. If you guys didn't know, I love reading. I used to love it when I was younger, and then like I hated reading for the longest time, and then I got back into it maybe end of year 10, start of year 11, so like 2 years ago, and then I've loved reading ever since. And so I literally only read romance novels basically, so that's what we're going to be doing today, some romance novel recommendations. The only book related type of videos I've done are my after videos, which me talking about the movie, not the book, but still. Also, my neighbour has decided to start mowing their lawn. So if that comes on and off during the video, I apologize. But yeah, so today I'm just going to be recommending some romance books for you guys that I love. I'm really shitty at describing things, so hopefully I do an okay job of giving you a decent description of the book. There we go again. But yes, so if you guys have any book recommendations, romance book recs, leave them in the comments below and I'll be sure to add them to my list of things to read and give them a read. And if you guys want to see more of these types of videos, let me know and I can be sure to do them for you, like leave specific tropes that you want me to recommend or anything like that. And yeah, then I'll film more, but let's just go ahead and get into this video. We're in a little bit of a different setup, so I hope it looks okay. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get into this video. So I have some hard copy books that I'm going to talk about first, and then I'll talk about the ones that I've read on my phone. So the first book that I'm going to be recommending is She's With Me by Jessica Consolo. I could be butchering that name completely, but I'll leave the cover on the screen so I don't have to hold up the book the whole time. But basically this was originally written on Wattpad and I read it on there first, and it's honestly a really it's amazing. It's one of my favorite like Wattpad published books. And there's 3 books, so there's only one of them's being published, but there's 3 on Wattpad, so you can read it on Wattpad or you can buy the hard copy. I love it that much, so I decided to buy this as well, but I've read it like 3 or 4 times. It is paid on Wattpad though, so you may as well just buy the proper book, or you can buy it for like Kindle, buy the ebook version. Basically this follows Amelia Collins, and she wants to lay low in her senior year of high school because she just moved to a new school. She wants to lay low, doesn't really want to draw too much attention to herself, because it's the only way to keep herself away from the man who's trying to find her and essentially kill her. That's his goal, because of some things that happened in her past, which I won't get into obviously because I don't want to spoil anything. But she literally bumps into Aiden Parker, who is the male lead in this book. He's the school's hottest bad boy, and some things happen. He has a really bad attitude, he's really hot, like it's crazy, but it's really hard for Amelia to make a decision between survival and love because of the man trying to chase her down, and it's such a good book. There's so many plot twists, so much that happens, crazy things that you never saw coming. It's crazy across all 3 of the books, not just in the first one. In the first one there are a lot of plot twists, but the whole thing, and it's crazy. It's not just a romance book, it's got like that element of like action because of this man that's trying to get her because of things that happen, and both of them have a troubled past. So it's a bad boy, good girl. I wouldn't describe her as a good girl. She's kind of like she has very sarcastic humor. She talks back a lot. She's a big mouth. but it's a great book. I definitely recommend. I can't really say too much without spoiling anything, but I recommend you go check it out. It's a really easy read. I read this in literally 2 or 3 days. Amazing. I recommend go check it out. The second book is being published in September. I don't know whether that's going to be pushed back or not, but the first book, She's With Me, it's called the With Me series. The second book is Stay With Me, I believe. Stay With Me, and then the third book is Still With Me. So I recommend. It's amazing. So a book that I have to talk about, I'm going to briefly touch on, and that is After. Obviously, this is well talked about on my channel, and you guys know I'm obsessed with After by Anna Todd. Go read it if you haven't. Literally everyone's pretty much read it by now that's into romance books. There is a movie. I recommend reading the book and then watching the movie, or actually you could probably watch the movie and then read the book, because the book's kind of nothing like the book. The movie's kind of nothing like the book. I still love the movie as its own thing, not when it's compared to the book, but I've read all of them. There are 4 books in the series, and then a book called Before, which is basically parts of this book told in different people's point of view. And then there's also a spin-off series called Nothing More, Nothing Less, which is about Landon, Tessa's best friend. Basically, I'll give you a brief description, because if you don't know what this is about, then like, you should by now. Basically, Tessa starts college. She is a sweet, good girl with a reliable boyfriend back home, and she meets Mr. Hardenscott when she comes to college. Some things happen. He's really rude to her. Very, very mean. There's obviously a little love story there. There's a big plot twist at the end, which, to be honest, I didn't really see coming when I first read the book. But yeah, it's a good read. Go check it out if you haven't already, but if you watch my channel, you probably would know about this book already. The book that we have to talk about is actually a series. I have the first 2 books. I've only read the first 2 because I literally can't get the third one anywhere. But basically, I'm just going to talk about the first one today. This is the Field Party series by Abby Glines. The first book in the series is called Until Friday Night. Amazing book. This is a YA book. The rest of them are not YA. But this one is YA, this series is YA. It's honestly amazing, such an easy, quick read. But basically, the first book, they're companion novels, so you don't have to read them in order, you don't have to read all of them, you can just read one, or you can read all of them, it's up to you. I believe there are about 5 or 6 books in this series, and they all follow a guy in the football team at this school. This book is about West Ashby and Maggie Carlton, and basically West is the cocky, popular, too handsome for his own good football player. I am reading briefly off here because I read this so long ago, and he's like the big man on campus, but his father is slowly dying from cancer, and he hasn't told anyone because he doesn't want to face it himself, because him and his dad are really close. They have a really great relationship, and he doesn't want to lose his dad, obviously, and so he hasn't told anyone. He is the only one that knows him and his like family. And 2 years ago, Maggie witnessed her father murder her mother. Not a spoiler, it's on the back of the book. And after she told the police what happened, she never spoke again, so she's mute for basically the whole book until she meets West. She moves to Alabama, and she moves in with her uncle because obviously she has no family, no immediate family, so she moves in with her uncle and her cousin, her aunt, uncle, and her cousin, I believe. And West finally decides he needs to talk about his dad, so kind of guess who he opens up to about that. They build this really amazing relationship, and it honestly, it deals with a lot, like all these books kind of deal with a lot of real world like issues, and they all have massive plot twists. This one has a crazy plot twist. I was not expecting it at all. So yeah, Maggie slowly starts to become close with West, and you know, things happen, and it's just a really great read. I recommend checking it out. The next book is Pucked by Helena Hunting. This is another amazing book, and if you love the one of them is famous trope, you'll like this all sports romance. I don't particularly love the trope where one of them is famous, but when it's sports, I don't mind. When one of them is a famous sports player, I don't mind. Follows Violet Hall and Alex, insert last name here, Alex Waters. And Alex is a famous hockey player, and Violet meets him through her stepbrother, who also plays in the same hockey team as Alex. And basically Alex is presented to be this really bad boy player, essentially, and he sleeps around, he is just not a good person, but that's what the media presents him to be. And is he really like that? You'll have to wait and see, but the media presents him to be this cocky player who's treats girls like shit, essentially. And so Violet wants to steer clear of him because of what she's heard in the media, but little does she know, it's not really how he is at all. So they meet at one of the hockey games, I believe. I read this one a while ago, so don't quote me on that, but I think that they meet when Violet goes to watch her stepbrother play hockey, and they meet, they have this connection, some things happen in the media, and you know, there's some interesting things that happen. But honestly, it's an amazing book. I definitely recommend this one. I haven't really heard anyone talk about this book, but it's a series. It's a standalone series, so it's called the Pucked series. This is book 1, and there are 7 books, I believe. I'm assuming they're all about different hockey players on the team. So yeah, I've only read the first book, but I recommend. Amazing. And that is actually all the books that I have to recommend for you guys today. If you want to see more romance recommendations, or if you have any specific tropes that you want me to recommend you guys books for, let me know in the comments below, and also leave any book recommendations that you guys have down there as well, and I will be sure to check them out if I haven't read them already. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you did, subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.